Hello and welcome to BT Sports coverage of the chat. Oh no, sorry, apologies. That'll be next season. Welcome to the Toon Terraces podcast. We are joined by probably rather giddy, quadruple of Mark, best name in the world, Michael and Max, our resident Isak expert.
Yes. That made me emotional. That intro made me emotional.
It was great. That was brilliant. I know we're biased, but that was bloody awesome.
Well, we need to get used to hearing that because we haven't heard it for so long. Yeah. And I don't want to say this, but I'm believing a little bit more
just a touch
after that one because, and this is what you need to, 6 goals yesterday and 6 points for the other Spurs with a game in hand. And they're under their third manager now.
Saying off another one, haven't we?
I know.
Have they confirmed yet at the time of recording if it's Ryan Mason taking over? Or
yes, no. Stellini's gone. Ryan Mason is taking over as caretaker.
I recommend Steve Bruce. He's a good family man.
Like you said, that'll a couple of games, you never know if someone else will be in.
Yeah, quite possibly.
Scott Parker caretaker in a couple of games' time. You never know.
You never know.
Harry Kane, player manager.
Yeah.
All sort of things can happen. Little bit annoyed that he got his goal, but we can
get them anyway.
We can brush that aside.
Yeah.
It'll probably take a long time just to cover the opening of the game. Never mind the rest of it.
Yeah.
So. First things first, when you've seen the two lineups, what were your thoughts on both teams? Because I know, Mark, you were a massive fan of Kulusevski in that. So, when you've seen him, Kane, and Song in the starting lineup, you're probably going, "Oh hell no!"
Yeah, I thought. I think I highlighted it in the pre-match show that we did. I was worried about Kulusevski versus Burn. Turns out I didn't need to be. But then again, I'm the idiot that said we're going to lose the game. So, nobody's ever been more wrong about something in the history of anything ever.
Just remember that for the next 2 games, if you don't mind.
Yes, that's what I said to him. Yeah,
keep that in mind. But in terms of our lineup, I was generally fairly pleased. I think we all agreed Longstaff needed to come back in, and obviously, give us a bit more of that energy in midfield and let Bruno and Willock and Joelinton do what they do. And he provided that in abundance. I was a bit surprised. Not surprised. I wasn't surprised to see Dan Burn in there, but I thought if there was a game to have brought in Matt Targett, it would have been this one. So for him not to come in probably suggests, Eddie sees Dan Burn as his first choice there at this point, I think, or unless he, starts making any serious blunders or something like that. So he's not going to get shipped out the team easily. Spurs, I suppose the confusing thing was the poor lad Pape Sarr, who came in for his, I think, second game ever in a changed formation. And he's just like, really? Could not believe that. I was like, apparently he's had his 2 games for the club was obviously that one just gone. And then the other one was North London Derby. And I'm like, Christ almighty, if there's ever like one player you can pinpoint to just be like, show me why Spurs are an absolute state, it's them. It's like, you don't want to be blooding your young players in 2 such high profile games like that. It's just crazy. So that was a bit surprising. And then there was a bit of confusion at first as to whether they were playing 3 at the back or whether he changed system. And of course, as we all know now, he changed system. And I would just still can't believe it now.
Neither can their players. I don't think he told them, did he?
Well, yeah.
It just goes to prove, he thought 3 at the back are not going to be able to keep a hold of Jacob Murphy, Alexander Isak, and Joelinton. He was right, 3 at the back weren't. Neither was 4.
Yeah. Or 5.
Yeah. Or 6.
Yeah. Oh, dear.
So we'll go with the first goal and just look back at that. And it was from the start, probably just a minute gone, and it was we were attacking Joelinton. Admittedly, probably given too much space to get the run on goal and to get the shot off. but Jacob Murphy was there straight away to finish up. And it was something they said in, I think, an interview with the club when he went, Matty, which I'm thinking is probably Richie, I said, hit it high.
Yeah.
And obviously, that's what he's done. He's hit it high. So the keeper who's on the ground has got no chance. And obviously, in the back of the net. I didn't know he'd scored at that point because, the cheer was that loud in the ground. I couldn't hear the announcer say who scored.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and me. I'm glad you said that because for people who don't know, we were all down the other end. That was at the Leases. We were all in the Gallagher, weren't we? Well, not
we
Matt
were at the
wasn't,
end where not as many goals were.
Yeah, we were at the poor man's end.
I was in the east stand, but like right over towards the Gallagher, so basically the same. Yeah, but like I also didn't know it was Murphy who scored, and I didn't know he scored the opening goal until he scored the third goal because I knew that was him. And then somebody next to me said, "I can't believe it, he's on a hat trick," and I'm like, "What?
Ooh,
he must have scored the first one."
I know
that was Isaac, wasn't it? It was my first thing. It was like, sure, that was Alexander.
But it was that, and I was
just deafening in the stadium.
And to be fair, I don't think we're that bothered. I was like, I don't care who scored it. To be fair,
I knew it was Murphy, so yeah.
Yeah, Max did.
Well, because you had the benefit of highlights,
television,
on television. Yeah. We didn't get that benefit. But to be fair, I suppose I probably can't see the screen, but I think I probably need very good vision to be able to see the replay of that level on there. But no, he finished it well, because the old Jacob Murphy probably would have put it over the bar or let it go
hit the
wide.
post.
Yeah, or it hit the post. That's his favourite thing. Obviously, not long later, maybe I think probably 3 or 4 minutes later, Fabian Shaw decided to go, nah, do you know what? Come on, Big Joe, get yourself on the end of this. We're going, we're doing the West Ham routine. Ping, ball over. He runs onto it, perfectly timed, not offside. And the composure at finishing. This is the thing. This is the Joe Linton of Eddie Howe's era, because the Joe Linton of Steve Bruce's era wouldn't have done that. He'd have messed that up.
The first touch alone was just unreal. Out of this world.
Staying on side as well was...
Yeah, like I said, the ball and then the touch and the finish, you're just thinking, oh my word. And you're thinking, 2-0 up, you're going, oh, this is quite good. You're still a little bit nervous because it's, you're thinking, oh, it's so early in the game. It's basically, and I'm thinking was it the West Ham game where we scored a goal, but it was disallowed because the ball had went out, and then we scored again quite quickly.
Yes. Yeah.
So it was like that sort of one. Because I think I turned to me mate and I went, well, we certainly haven't started slow today.
Yeah.
and
then
I think
no sooner had our cheeks hit the seats again.
right up there again.
And we're up again. But again, what a finish by as Murphy would say, Jacob Murphy. And honestly, it was it's like an out of body experience because you're 3-0 up, 9 minutes gone. You're going, is this happening? Is this really here?
I looked around and you just suddenly realize everyone else is doing the same thing as you. Everyone's looking around in disbelief. Can't believe it. Apparently, including Jacob Murphy. There you go. and you just sort of, I don't know about you lads, but when that ball hit the back of the net, I just started thinking to myself, I was like, when Jacob Murphy's pinging them in from 30 yards, you know your luck's in. Yeah, I think we're going to be okay today.
I just started laughing, to be honest. Just on my floor.
Well, I think someone else did as well.
Oh dear.
Yeah. Any excuse to roll that out, I'm going to use it, honestly. But no, and like I said, I think again when went nearly 10 minutes without scoring a goal. I was like, what's going on?
Outrageous. Not good
I was getting bored by then.
I know, but in between that time though, Harry Kane had a chance and put it wide, and I think that's when you start sitting there going, okay, this might just be on here, because those sort of things don't happen, especially with the form that Harry Kane has against us.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, 80th minute, comes in, Bruno gets the ball, from Dan Burns' defender, which again, I thought he had a cracking game. He was back to, the the Dan Burn of old. Yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome back, Dan. And then just pass it past the Willock, and Willock just sort of like run onto it. And the fact that that pass was with the outside of his boot,
Ridiculous.
it was. I'm going to put up that I think it's probably the pass of the season. It was phenomenal.
I can't think of a better one. I was trying to think about a better one today because obviously, like, it was. I mean, that was. Forget Kevin De Bruyne. That was like Luka Modric in his prime, sort of like assist. Like, I mean, some of the passes he pulls off still now, but in previous days even more so. And I'm just thinking, like, I can't think of another one this season. There probably is some other very impressive ones this season that aren't coming to mind, but I can't think of one off the top of my head that's better than that. And he's just like, wow. I mean, I suppose the biggest compliment actually that you can pay that assist is we're barely even talking about Fabian Schär's assist, and that was unreal because Willock's was so much like it was just absolutely out of this world.
Do you know, I was probably going to give a little bit of disservice to Isak by going, the pass was that good. Chris Wood would have scored it, but then I thought, I'm not going to do that. Because he probably wouldn't. He wouldn't
have got onto it. He wouldn't have been able to see what Willock was doing. But
the composure, and I said, as soon as you've got Isak and he's 1-on-1 with Lloris, you knew fine well he was just going to slot that past him and put it in
relax.
The net.
Yeah, it's not like having Chris Wood up front. I was like, he's going to score. I just knew he was going to score.
I don't know whether or not I was still relaxing at 4-0, and I don't know. probably the Newcastle fan in us there. Yeah. But I'm like, I don't think I can. Yeah,
right.
And then it said no later. You turned around to go and get your seat back, and you're celebrating again because again, lovely play, Longstaff with I think it's a back heel pass to Isak, and Isak just goes, "Thank you very much," bam.
Yeah.
And I said 5-0 at 21 minutes gone. And I'm just looking around at everyone, and everyone's got the same sort of face that Mr. Murphy had, and I know you are honestly, you're like, wow, like.
As I said to the guy next to me, I said, "Has anyone ever scored 5 goals in the first half before?" And he said, "Oh, I'll Google it." And then he looked down at his phone and he went, "No, because I'm going to miss something if I do." So, and he's probably right, but at that point,
to be
he
fair,
had no idea. Like,
if he was able to get Google up in the stadium, then well
that's
done.
How delirious he was, yeah. So,
I know. He was delirious. He thought, I'm going to get signal in the ground.
I'm still waiting for my government alert. Never mind trying to get signal in the ground. I'm in the concourse, and I'm looking at my watch. I'm thinking.
I suppose for the Spurs supporters, it was the end of the world, wasn't it? I mean, the poor buggers. I mean, they must be thinking, yeah.
No, I'm in the concourse checking my watch. Yeah, I'm in the concourse checking my watch because it's 5 past 3, and and I'm thinking I still haven't got this alert. What's going on?
Oh, and then the second half. Saw Fraser Forster come out, and I said to the lad next to me, I said, "Oh, the swap. Lloris has caught one," and he said, "Don't talk shit to me like that." I said, "What are you talking about?" I said, "They have swapped their goalkeeper. He's just come out to warm up," and I was like, "Okay." And then when he walked back to the goal, he went, he went, "Oh, I am sorry," like that, because he didn't believe that they would do that. I mean, really. I mean, what was there? I don't know. Still don't know what was supposed to be Matt with Lloris. I mean, really. Yeah. But, I mean,
I think he's had a disagreement, and I think he's probably hammered Stellini and went, "Don't you dare gamble on team selections and formations like that. You've made me look like a right." So I think something like that happened. Yeah,
he could not believe that he didn't come out in the second half because he said, "Well, he hardly, no one got near him, no one touched him. I mean, what? He just couldn't believe it." And then, of course, then Harry went up the other end, and
it was like he wasn't there. Huh?
Yeah, absolutely, Max.
I was finishing my halftime beer, like just finishing it up and watching the telly on the concourse.
Funny enough, so was Nick Pope.
Yeah, he might as well have. He could have just been smoking a cigar for the whole of the first half.
I'm sure I've seen him finishing a couple of the pages of Sudoku.
You couldn't blame him. But I was
crossword.
stood there watching the telly, finishing my beer, and all of a sudden Fraser Forster's coming walking onto the pitch, and
Yeah.
I pointed at the TV and laughed, and then another set of lads looked at the TV and they turned around to me and laughed because it's just like, this can't be real. Like,
was
what is going
surreal.
on?
That's what that lad basically said to me. He was like, it was a surreal moment in an already surreal afternoon. It was just and you know, stunned. Just everyone was stunned. I mean, I don't know what the players must have thought, because everyone expected us to go and get another 5. But it's like, well, where do you go after getting 5? I mean, another 5? I mean, you know, and then people started getting a bit tetchy, a bit like, come on, because we really wanted to finish them off, you know. And
yeah, but we've done that on the 21st minute.
I know, exactly. And then all the changes. I mean, I couldn't keep up. I like you guys. I didn't know who the hell had scored, because I was just getting grabbed from every direction, and you know, I couldn't look up, and then I couldn't keep up with who was coming on and going off. It was just all of it surreal, really surreal. But what an afternoon.
I know it was, and then probably the easiest of the goals that we've had all.
Yeah.
It was probably the antithesis of what you would expect from Callum Wilson, just approach his goal.
Yeah,
and that was basically what it was. It was just unreal, and that even I would say his celebration was probably a little bit subdued, and that you just say, yeah, thanks, I'll give you the salute, and that's it. Thank you very much. Thank you.
He knew. He's like, well, yeah, I'm happy to score, I guess, but this doesn't mean anything really in the grand scheme of things. But
I know.
For him to come on and contribute was great, and it was a bit of link up as well, between him and Miggy. So the two subs sort of combined to get the goal, which was nice.
Well, the question also, and it's got to be for Max, it's how does it feel seeing your man in double figures?
It's an amazing feeling, because it's only played 15 games, started 11, 10. So he's basically scored in, if you count it out, he scored 1 goal in each start. So for a striker, that's very good numbers. You know, that's what we paid for. And for all those doubters in the beginning, I say to you, shut up. They didn't have any faith in him, and it's really good to see. I don't even think I would have expected this kind of return already, but it's really good to see now, and he's really getting into it. I put a tweet out because he was talking to Swedish television after the game, and he said some really good things about the crowd. Because yes, many other players are starting to do this. Cheering them on. If they win a corner, it can be a throw, and it can be a good tackle. And he said that the reason they do this because you get a response from the crowd and you get energy from that. And he said also, this is really interesting, he said it's the best atmosphere he's ever played in. He could be biased, but I'm thinking he looked very genuine, because the reporter asked him, are you really sure about that? Is this the best atmosphere you've played in? And he was like, yes, 100%. And he's a player who's been at Dortmund, has a famous fan group and good fans, and he's played at the Bernabeu and the Camp Nou against Barcelona and Real Madrid. So for him to say that is pretty big, and I think he's really genuine about it. And it made me smile.
But it's true, though. But I think it's the fact that the fans have fallen in love with him already, and it's been hardly any time. Yeah, the support that the players get, and it is, like I said, even the first goal, it was deafening. Yeah, the Man U game, the atmosphere was unreal, and it is the point where you're going as an away fan. Sorry, well, you're probably dreading your team coming up to Newcastle, even though but as an away team, you're probably thinking, I'm not being funny. If I was Southampton, I'd be looking at that performance and going,
I think the three grounds you don't want to go to in the Premier League at the most, Newcastle is one of them. The other two for me is obviously Man City, because and probably still Anfield, because even Liverpool's record at home this season is still very good.
Especially on the weekend, because
they did.
Far,
he's that celebration for his second one. He almost you could tell how crazy they were, because he sort of went like that. This is crazy, He was like, "What's got?" He's shrugging his shoulders, going, "What he's got?" Even they couldn't believe it. It really did show when he scored that goal. It was like, this is just
I'm going to
another
ask you
level,
a question.
isn't it?
will Isak finish as Newcastle United's top goal scorer this season?
I think he will if he stays
I
fit.
think he will. We said this a while ago that if he'd start, he'd be on easy 25, top of the. If it wasn't for Haaland, he'd be second behind Haaland if he'd started just twice as many games as he has.
I believe
that's
he's
still nowhere near what he could have started as well.
I believe he's on 1 goal for every 98 minutes he's on the pitch, which is mental.
I mean, and we also have the opposition we're going to play against now this coming weeks are not the best. I mean, Everton, Southampton, these are games where he can get some goals. So
bear in mind, Southampton did score 3 past the current league leaders.
Yeah, but Arsenal are
and Spurs as well.
What's happening to them?
Yeah, and they did score 3 past Spurs, but then again, apparently that's very easy to do. So
Child's play, you can do that in 10 minutes.
6.
We call it 10 minutes. Yeah.
But on Isak as well, just one thing I wanted to mention, just because, like, I mean, really, and on any other day, like where it wasn't mad and we scored 6 goals, he'd probably get man of the match. But to be fair, I think most people are in agreement. Man of the match probably has to go to either Joe Linton or Joe Willock, who had phenomenal games. But with Isak, I just think I'm not sure I've ever seen a striker play quite like him in the sense that he plays as a number 9 and as a number 10 all at the same time. Like he drops deep.
No, I know.
Creates chances for himself.
He's like, don't worry, I'm not good. I've got this covered. I can do both.
They just don't know where he's going to be, do they?
No, there's pulling the defense around, and then there's pulling the defense around. Like I've never really I've definitely never seen it for Newcastle, and I can't really remember very many occasions of seeing it for other clubs, other players at other clubs. But yeah, he seems to play. It's not like, he can play as a 9 or he can play as a 10. He does both all at the same time, and he's coming in deep, popping the ball out wide, and then all of a sudden, in the blink of an eye, he's like ran and he's in the number 9 position waiting to get the ball back to score. So he's almost setting himself up for goals.
Yeah, and he did that for his second goal was exactly that. The ball passed it out and then he found the position and Longstaff did a really clever pass back to him. So that's exactly what he did.
Sorry, Max. He never has a heavy touch, does he? I mean,
no.
Even that. I mean, because it started to piss down with rain, and even then, where the ball will get away for some people by that point. Not him.
He had one poor touch all game, and as soon as he lost the ball, he went running back to get Perisic, shoulder barged and won the ball back, and we were straight back up the pitch again. I was like, honestly, that lad. This
comparison about with him and Henry is getting more and more traction, especially amongst our own people. But I mean,
don't be silly. He's better.
But it's starting to people are starting to really, really go, oh God.
We need a new chant for him though. I don't think Gimme works so well in the stadium.
Well, we have got the chant for him.
Yeah, but it doesn't work. Nobody uses it. I never heard it.
We've got to.
Yeah, but that one is too broad. We need
I'm sure one will come.
We need a Hakel and Wilson one, but
I think the gimme one happens a lot more at away days. There's like it's weird.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah, there are some songs which are only known really by like the hardcore fans, which are usually like the ones that go to the away games. A lot of people probably don't know the words, sort of thing. So it's difficult to get the song going, which is a bit of a shame.
You can tell it's a good deal when you've got the case of Arsenal or whatever will be.
We're going to Italy.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. Whoever started that, kudos to you because that was bloody awesome.
Then I think have you ever seen a Milan?
Milan, yeah, that one.
One. I was like, going, right, come on, we're getting into it now. Come on, let's get all the chance.
I remember singing that song 15 years ago, and just to be able to sing it again is just brilliant. Yeah.
And in fact, I wanted to start singing "You're just a small club in Arsenal," just to really wind up the Spurs fans.
Yeah.
Because and the one thing which I will say, fair play to those that stayed to the very end. Yeah, because it must
where
have
I
been...
was in the Gallagher, I couldn't see. Were there any? And I'm not being
there was
I could not see.
There was a lot of empty seats, but there was, like Mark says, kudos to the ones that stayed behind. There was probably about a third of them.
They're probably the ones that had the hotel overnight and thought, well, we might as well stay.
Yes, our hotel was very
The rest
quiet.
of them were on the LNE. To be honest, there's quite a few of them that probably caught the one at 2:30.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they were streaming out with when the 5th goal went in, and I'm almost like, I can't really take the piss out of them because, like, I can't say I wouldn't do the same thing. Like, I mean,
because at that point it just looked like it was never going to stop, did it?
No.
I mean, really. I mean, humiliation at that point. They were already humiliated at 4, and then 5, and they just thought, well, why stay? And I know they're going to get shit for it, but they shouldn't.
And it's going to be getting worse for Spurs because they face Man U midweek, and then they face Liverpool at the weekend.
I mean,
and this is the thing. This is what you could look at, though. You could be looking at the fact that by next Sunday, Spurs could be out of the race of the top 4.
Yeah, I mean, Brighton are going to be.
They might be back in it.
Villa are going to be rubbing their hands.
No, but you look and then you think, well, they might be back in it. Yeah, so this is the thing with football. Nothing's ever done there, but this is probably a pivotal week because you could be looking at that and going, well, yeah.
I mean, also we when we came out,
where's your passport?
Yeah, what'll stay with me was that we were talking about who got man of the match, and really, I mean, you could have given it to Fabian Schär, really, because those passes, if he was played for Manchester United, or if he played, it would be like, well, look, that's an £80 million defender there. I mean,
Sven Botman.
He's not. The fact that Fabian Schär has not been nominated for Premier League Team of the Season is like a massive injustice in my eyes.
He's in the best defence in the league, and he does that against West Ham, and so he's clearly got it in his locker. It's not a fluke. And we were like, you could have given it to 4 or 5 players.
But Botman can do it as well.
Yeah, it was a complete opposite of last week, which is what we were all hoping for, wasn't it? I was a complete opposite. Whereas last week they were all just dreadful. This week it was like, who are we going to pick on the match?
Well, that's the thing. You're looking and you're going, well, Joe Linton, Isak, Murphy, Willock, Bruno to an extent. Yeah, and then you're looking and thinking, well, Fab Shaw, but you're like, you could have had your pick of them. Yeah, Hugo Lloris. Yeah.
I mean, it was ridiculous. It was the complete.
Well, this is how ridiculous it was. I didn't have a chance to rant at the referee.
Yeah,
and he wasn't a great ref. He was a pretty bad ref, actually. I mean, the fact that they left with 11 men on the pitch. I mean, not that you could tell. Like, that's it. That's a
but
very
I think
point.
that might have been probably more of the aspect of his thinking. Well, look, the game's already gone away. It is a game that's on TV. It might have been more.
I think there was some sympathy at play.
But they kicked Bruno. Once that 5th goal went in, they kicked that, especially Poro, there's not a footballer who's ever been more aptly named. They kicked him black and blue.
I thought Mark was walking off in Porto.
Yeah,
it's just turning the light on.
They kicked Bruno black and blue. Him and Poro and Skip. And really, I thought, how did they stay with 11 men? Really, just to make the afternoon worse. I mean, like I said, Poro, never a better, more aptly named footballer. He was dreadful.
Well,
45 million quid for him. 45 million.
Well, Emerson Royale was abysmal as well.
Yeah.
Oh, he might be the worst footballer I've ever seen. I call him Emerson Peasant.
Yeah.
Nothing royal about him.
There's nothing royal about him, yeah. But Poirot, it just...
No, but this is the thing.
Christ on a bike.
The one thing we tell you, we've got to see as well is as much as Spurs were abysmal, Newcastle were just unbelievable because I think we made them like that. Yeah, we
absolutely.
Yeah. Like I said in the second half, Spurs were getting into it and they were getting more chances than that. So they are a team that have threat in that, and that's why when the first goal goes in so early in the first half, you're going, oh crap. But it was just unreal. And I said, for me, Joe Willock is the player we signed from Arsenal for 25 million, and right now I think Arsenal must be kicking themselves because he is.
They could do the bit of that.
You're looking at that, and I know we keep on talking about, we need a defensive midfielder, but I'm still looking at the midfield and going, who do you drop?
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing for someone coming in now for obviously, hopefully for the Champions League. They'll be coming in. Will they be thinking, I've got to be on my game? Who am I going to take out of this team? Who am I going to get into the starting 11? Who am I going to have to? What am I going to have to do to try and get into this lot?
Come on, Mickey Almiron can't displace Jacob Murphy at the minute. That's him where it is. You fact that you're looking and you're going, I'd still start Jacob Murphy. Yeah, it's crazy, but I just love Jacob Murphy. Yeah, he's fast becoming like a favourite of mine.
He's becoming a cult hero.
Yeah, one because of his memes and that. Yeah, his memes have to do part of that. Two, I think I've also got to say very well done to Isak because he's picked up the Geordie language very, very well according to the match cam.
Yeah, I saw that earlier today.
See, that's controversial about that because I think he's talking Swedish, to be fair.
Oh,
he
didn't because he said I'm getting that's getting
yeah, but in his way, in his accent in Swedish, it also sounds like go home, like go ham. It's there's a possibility it's talking, but I couldn't even.
We didn't because he said let's gan yem, and that is all Geordie.
Okay, okay.
A lot of Geordie,
and it was even in quite a Geordie sort of like twang to it as well. So the fact that he's got Dan Byrne, Sean Longstaff, Paul Dummett, Mark Gillespie. Yeah, so he's got quite a few in there. Yeah, so he probably is picking that up there.
I hope so. And I mean, it didn't sound like Swedish too much either. So
no,
it's Geordie.
He doesn't sound that Swedish when he does his interviews.
No, I think he does actually. No. He doesn't sound like Max, does he? He sounds slightly.
Yeah, he sounds English. Yeah.
No, he just has a different sort of accent. That's I suppose it's from living away from home.
He's becoming English now, so it's Alex Isaac.
Over my
I don't know about that. Oh, don't start that. Don't get him going. Don't ruin a good
I might leave him.
But and this is the fact that Manquillo came on and even he looked like he had a decent enough game. Yeah. And you're going, yeah. Because that was the thing I'd say, I can't really blame us taking trips off because the game's gone. No. The game's gone.
Makes total sense, yeah.
The only Son went off that I realised he was still on, if that makes any sense. Because I didn't realise, because I love him. I mean, I know he's had a crap season, but when he went off, I was like, oh, crap, yeah. Kept him quiet. Dan Byrne, because I know Mark is a massive Kulusevski fan, he kept him really quiet.
Oh,
he was up against him on everything. He knew his job, just get to him, and he did it all. He did it all afternoon.
It was the old like back row for me. Yeah, there were like Botman back to his Rolls Royce type, and you just say, "Oh my God, go on, Sven."
Yeah, it was worth the pain of Aston Villa to witness that yesterday. It really was.
It was again some of the football from Joe Willock and that when you're looking at it and you're just going, "You sexy, filthy that you are." It's honestly, he is.
The biggest compliment I can pay both Joe Willock and probably also Joe Linton about yesterday's performance was on the ball they looked a lot like Bruno. You know how Bruno is like almost unpressable. Like you try and press him and he just
Joe Willock even did his hair.
He did, yeah. He got a new trim for the game.
Got a new trim for it, yeah. I wish I could have the same.
It looked
I didn't recognise him at first, and I was like, "Oh yes, Joe Willock." I forgot he's got his hair done, and
For a second, I thought it was the Willockini on his back, but didn't go that far.
You've got Willockino, and right now, you've got Murphy-inho.
Yeah, Murphy-inho.
It's going that way. It's going that way.
And the other thing was Shah, wasn't it? Was Shah going off and then coming back on? It was like, no, you're coming off, and he wandered off, didn't he? And he went to the side, and I don't know what he said. He goes,
you're daft.
I am staying on.
The game's done. Get on the bench.
To be fair,
I want to stay on.
At least Fabian didn't do a Bednarek.
Yes.
Yeah.
He was like arguing, and you've got two doctors going, "No, you need to come off," and he's going, "No, I'm going back on."
He wanted to play the full night, and
tell you what, you either listen to what I'm saying and stay off, or I'm going to give you a reason.
But he literally went back on.
While
they were still talking to him about coming off, he just went, "I'm going back on," and he walked on.
It's an interesting point though, because we play them next, and I remember watching Southampton. Sorry, we don't play them next. We play them at the weekend.
Yeah, play them next. Yeah,
and I remember watching the game live, and interestingly, they didn't use their concussion substitute for that.
Yeah, the commentator said it wasn't done as a concussion.
Is that them trying to get around the concussion rules and stuff? And so it'd be interesting
for him
to see if
be. Yeah,
it'd be interesting to see if he plays against us.
But there's a question of, was it a case of, was it concussion, or was there another reason? Yeah, because of the way that he'd landed, or could he that maybe they were like,
it was really bad. He did look.
It was like, ooh, yeah, that's a naughty one, that. But no, I was sort of like the point, when the Celts even came on, I'm just like, yeah. Because I was like, the game's won. I was like, and to be fair, he had a decent performance against Man City. He had Haaland in his back pocket, so it's like even those ones, although I think Christ, the armband, had a, it probably feels like the Spurs coaching jacket at the minute, It was, had 3 arms inside it. I know. Chips had it, then Chips passed it to Wilson, and then when Lascelles came on, it was passed to Lascelles, who had 3 captains.
Did he give it to Wilson? I was thinking about it. I didn't see him he gave it to him. I thought it was Burn first. Burn or Wilson.
No, obviously Chips had it, and then as soon as Chips was going off, because Wilson's on the pitch, Wilson would act as like the deputy.
Okay.
Because Wilson was the deputy for Lascelles, So it's this, and then as soon as Lascelles came on, like the armband back onto him. That I said, I'm just a little bit disappointed that we had to use all the 5 subs.
Yes, but
so that Talbot didn't get like a run out, because
yes,
I was a bit surprised Elliot. I was a bit surprised Elliot Anderson didn't get a run out as well either, because obviously nice.
Well, no, but I'm not going to criticise any of the subs that were made, because I was like,
no, I'm not. I mean, look, at the end of the day, we've got a sub spectrum.
Well, realistically,
it'd be hard to quibble, wouldn't it?
If Sean didn't pick up that knock, Anderson might have got on, or Target might have got on. I did see quite a couple of comments where people were criticising Anthony Gordon yesterday, going, "Oh, he didn't seem as if he was bothered." I didn't see that.
I didn't get that.
I mean, look,
he was thinking I can get in on this.
His biggest fan, yes, we know.
I'm hardly the head of the Anthony Gordon fan club, but I don't think that's true. Yesterday, I think he was.
No,
his heart was in it.
Yeah, and to be fair, he was unlucky not to get his first goal.
Yes,
he was.
And that, because I was looking at that and he was running on, I was going, go on, 7-7. Yeah, I even had in my head. I even had the headline in my head, 7th heaven. Yeah, it was like, it was written around, but we've just had to go with 60 football, because. And it was like, honestly, it's like,
Do you think? Do you think Antonio Conte was sat at home with a massive grin on his face, lads?
I've got a feeling he wasn't watching.
He's probably texted Daniel Levy this morning, went, told you so.
Yeah, I think he's blocked now, but
but he was right. This has just proved he was right in what he said.
Yeah, I mean, the thing with
that squad, because that squad is not.
Yeah, I mean, the thing with our press conference is obviously, it was unprofessional. We know that, blah, blah, blah. And he didn't take any responsibility for his own actions, which he should have done as well, because it isn't, he was partly to blame. But everything he said has turned out to be true. That's undeniable. I mean, when he said it's a team of individuals, you look around and you go, 100%. Like, Kane scored yesterday and he wasn't interested in, like, celebrating with anybody. He wasn't interested in, like, there was no leadership when goals are flying in. Nobody's playing for each other. Son's running into blind alleys. He looks a shadow of his former self. No cohesiveness about their team. They're just playing for themselves.
Kulusevski's thinking, can I terminate my loan early, please?
Yeah, can I please get back to Juve?
But no, it is
Newcastle.
And then there's
Max, don't. I'm too excited about the prospect of that.
That would be awesome.
That'd be so good.
It would be so good.
I agree.
But you look at that and it's one of those things though. But I don't want to get too excited because it's Newcastle and we could do
job's
that.
But do a Devon lock as
the job's not done.
Fergie famously said.
But it's looking a lot brighter than it was
I saw today on that note, Mark. I saw today that if Eddie Howe gets, I think it's 13 more points this season, he becomes statistically the best. It becomes the best season from an Englishman in the Premier League ever.
And that looked really possible.
So, 21 points on offer if he gets 13.
They really do have stats for everything.
Yeah.
So you're talking about Conte as well, and I've said this before, and I'll keep saying it. That man, Eddie Howe, the way he composes himself, the way he conducts himself on the pitch, on the touchline, in interviews, he is the complete antithesis of someone like Conte, who just can't keep it to himself. And Arteta, who can't keep it to himself. He just does things in his own way. He's like what Klopp was like when Klopp first came to Liverpool, and I hope he stays like that. I would hate it to corrupt him. I mean,
I don't think that will ever happen.
No, well, I hope not, because we are so lucky to have him, and I know his day will come. He knows his day will come one day when it won't be good. Everything won't be as favourable. But what a man!
I will make one exception though for him. I think he should be allowed to chin Eric Ten Hag anytime he wants.
Well, that should just be a rule, full stop.
Well, we're just gonna do one thing. We're just gonna just because you want to see this, because
Oh, who doesn't?
I mean, beautiful. Look at that goal difference, man.
Yeah, 20 plus. Oh,
I mean,
I know. But then you're looking, and if we're gonna do is just look at this.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we're 5-1 on to finish in the top 4 now.
Now this is the thing, but you look, and this
I don't think Tottenham will stay 5th. I think Aston Villa.
No, I don't think they will.
No,
I don't know with the games we've got coming up.
I think Tottenham are finishing 8th. I really do.
I'd be surprised if you finish like that.
But no, but they could finish 8th. But you look at that, and you're looking, and you're going, Spurs now have a 1.7%. Yeah, I saw that yesterday, and I was giggling. Yeah.
I mean, Brighton have got
in the
3 games on them now, and nothing else to play for.
How does Man United have 6% more than us?
Because they're Manchester United.
Oh,
they've got a game in hand.
It'll be the game in hand, I think.
Yeah,
but we also have.
But this is the thing, and this is where you're looking at. If you look at the percentage chances, the closest is Liverpool at 8.5%, and we're at 88.5%. So there's like an 80% gap. So you're looking at that and going.
Apparently, we are 10 times more likely to make the Champions League than Liverpool.
Well,
actually, no. It's 11 times more likely.
I know Liverpool have had a bad season, but I mean,
no,
the fact that we're even there.
They started poorly, but they've picked up. Yeah. Chelsea's had a poor season.
You like that, Michael? You like
Get used to it. Get used to it.
No, but then
they're going to have a poor season next season. I'm calling it now.
But you look at it and you're going, right, but
don't get my hopes up.
But you look at it and you're going, okay, but if you look at who's in the top 4, Arsenal are there, which would normally have been around the Europa League. So, that's a massive change because, So there's one, side who's replaced that aspect of it. Then if you look, you've got Brighton and Aston Villa in the mix of things now. So, it's still difficult. And like I said, I'm still not going to be, I'm still, we might be like 4 points clear with 2 games left, and I'll still be going, it's just one of those things. But it would be a travesty if we didn't qualify.
It's unthinkable now, isn't it? I mean, very rarely do you get what you deserve in life, but we so deserve that top 4 right now.
That's the thing, and this is the thing. If we were looking at, let's say, finishing 6th at the beginning of the season, I think any fan would have went, yes, please.
Oh, God, yeah.
But considering where we've been for the majority of the season, I think anything other than the top 4 would feel like a bit of a disappointment. Because of that. What we're also going to just do, I'm just going to have a quick look at, because, we're not going to look at the Garth Cooks one because he doesn't know what he's talking about. One player in the team of the week. Yeah, right. To be fair, isn't he a former Spurs player? So that might have had a little bit of something to do with it.
Could have.
It might just have, yeah.
Yeah. But let's look at this. Yeah.
That formation is a bit dodgy, though. 3-3-4.
Yeah,
we were that good. Shearer's had to pick a fully mental formation to do that. I mean,
I've never
fairness,
seen anything like that.
I think he's just taking his lead from Stellini. You know.
Yeah, maybe just invented something weird.
He's went. Never mind. 4-3-3. We'll go on 3-3-4.
Well, you know why he's done that. It's just so he could put that many Newcastle players in. It's as simple as that, just to piss everybody off even more.
But you're looking at that and you are going, well, Willock deserves to be in it. Joe Linton deserves to be in it. Isak deserves to be in it. And Murphy deserves to be in it.
Yeah,
it's like, well, why not? Yeah. I'm debating, the Everton player in there.
Yeah.
Bab Shaw over Michael Keane, probably.
Yeah,
well, exactly. I mean, I suppose 5 would have just been looking like a bit too nepotism, I guess.
Handsome Fabian getting robbed again in these, team of the weeks, team of the season.
I know. Yeah. To be honest, Castagna, you can agree with because he scored the winner for
that was a really good goal.
So that's Alcaraz for Southampton. Well done. And
yes.
To be fair though, is there not? Potentially 5 Newcastle players in that team of the week.
I tell you what, Keith Downing was on Sky today saying that if we do get Champions League, that this could be our most expensive summer ever.
Yeah.
So, I mean that's what we're all hoping for, isn't it?
Let's hope the final game of the season, the first one that comes on at full time is money.
Yeah.
You're just hoping
can we just point out the manager for the team of the week could it have been anyone else but Eddie.
No.
I think the most impressive thing is you look at the back of what happened last week at Aston Villa.
Yep.
And to bounce back like that.
Absolutely. I knew he'd get into him. Again, this is what's amazing about him. He doesn't have to rant and rave like any other manager would have done. If he does it in a very good way because he always gets a response. And that's, I said, I can't remember what it was.
We were worried that we were missing St. Maximin.
Yeah. I said a while ago that I thought, he's getting up there for me, he's going to be mentioned with Sir Bob and Kevin Keegan. And I just can't. The man is just amazing. I mean, it's just all falling right for us,
I don't care what happens in the league now in terms of like whoever wins the title. Eddie Howe has got to be.
Yeah, he won't win it, but absolutely. I mean,
I think
Brighton finishing 5th maybe might.
Yeah, he's in.
And I've no doubt if Arsenal win the league, then Arteta will get it.
I think if Newcastle finish in the top 4,
I know that they're going to throw.
You'd be hard pushed not to. I know, but I know, but this is the point that I'm going right. But look, 3 of our 5 goals were scored by players that were here before Eddie Howe took over. Yeah, and this is when you're looking at it, you look at the fact that Shaw was here before. Longstaff was here. Joe Linton was here. Willock was here. Murphy was here. So you're looking at that squad and you're going, well, nearly half of the starting lineup.
I think it was Craig Hope who made a very good point along these lines. It was like, well, Tottenham and Newcastle, since Eddie Howe took charge, have spent roughly about the same amount of cash, about 250 million quid each. So it's like you can't say this is down to cash and cash alone. Like anyone making that argument just hasn't got a leg to stand on. I'm sorry.
And they already had Harry Kane as Heung-min Son.
Yeah, exactly. They already had a massive head start.
And that's my point about Eddie Howe. This is it is that simple. It is all down to it's not all down to him, but it's the way he's brought players on. I mean, who wouldn't want to come and have a bit of that gold dust that he seems to have with players sprinkled over them?
Well, that's the thing. You look at that, and as a player, if you're thinking, oh, well, I'm struggling a bit, like Mason Mount, and I know again it's a player that Mark doesn't like, but he's a lad who I do think probably has a bit of quality in him.
He does, but not for what else you want for him. So
no, but if you were like, if it was a reasonable price and you're a player, and I'm just saying that sort of ilk, would you not be looking and going, well, look what he's done with Joe Linton. Look what he's done with Jacob Murphy. Look what he's done with Sean Longstaff.
I'm tired of this argument, man. I'm tired because I'm not targeting you here, Mark. Because I hear this from so many Newcastle fans, right? It's like, oh, I know, but Eddie Howe will get the best out of him. I'm like, yeah, okay, but imagine if instead of signing an average player and getting Eddie Howe to make them like really good, we just signed a really good player, and then Eddie Howe would get them to be a world beater, like Isak. Like Isak, exactly.
I'm gonna be again controversial. You won't
Bruno.
necessarily agree with it. But I'm going to say this. I don't think we thought Bruno was a world beater when we signed him. I think we thought he was an okay player and we're going to probably try and build him. I think Isak, we didn't probably think we were paying for a world beater because his stats probably before coming here weren't sort of like massive. Yeah, they weren't like really, you're going, oh, we've got a world-class striker. Yeah. We think that now because we're seeing him, yeah. But you look at that and you're thinking probably the only player you're probably looking at and going, yeah, we've got a real gem. Well, two probably, Trippier and Mr. Botman. Pope again is another one that people are probably going, well, why we're signing Nick Pope? And then you look and you're going, that's why. I'm going to I
do just want to say though, if we like signing Mason Mount is like my worst nightmare.
No, I'm not.
I'm Anthony Gordon in the same starting.
Who would they take out to put him in there?
I cannot tell you how shit I think he's.
I'm just
the
saying
most overrated player I've ever seen.
The Portsmouth Pele.
The only reason why I was just picking him is because he's a player that seemed to have like a bright future and then is sort of like stumbled a bit and lost a little bit of form and that sort of thing. And that's
I
what
agree,
I'm just.
Mark. I think he should go back out on loan to Derby County where he belongs.
No, but what I'm just trying to say is that sort of player, a player that's
I know
young and up and coming, Like I'm not, you could look at many players. Calvin Phillips, and I'm going to say is a prime example. If we're looking at, let's say, a defensive midfielder who may not necessarily be like a bank breaker, like someone like Declan Rice might be, he might look at that and go, well, do you know what? I wouldn't mind, playing under Eddie Howe. 1, Champions League. 2, it's top north still,
Which is why Champions League's
exactly
now.
But and he's probably looking and thinking, well, hang on, I'm not being funny, but if he's been able to do that to Joe Linton, well, I probably got a bit of a head start.
Exactly.
I'd be very satisfied with a Calvin Phillips, very.
No, but you know what I mean. So, but that's what I'm saying. There's players like that who are probably looking at and going,
we've got Joe Linton.
He'd probably be a cracking signing, given the English aspect of it. Someone also questioned if would it be worth signing Fraser Foster as a backup keeper because we need 4 players that have been through the academy. Obviously, Fraser Foster had been through the academy, so you're looking at that and you're going.
I think just for shits and giggles, we should have Pickford.
No.
Just leave him on the bench.
No,
I'm joking.
Nah, I'm sorry.
He'll go to Manchester United, but that's someone else's problem. So
I'd rather bring back
even
Jack
bigger reason. It's an even bigger reason to hate Man
God! What to sweep up? To sweep up?
Oh God! Max is put the nightmare scenario in
to clean Bruno's boots. Can you do anything else for you, Mr. Gamirish? No, thank you, Jack. You can go home now. Oh, thank you, sir. Good night.
To be fair, though, I think you might see a spot taken by, like that Lewis Miley lad.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, he's been in the academy and he's looking like a heck of a player.
I mean, we're going to be able to get anyone we want, really. I mean, I don't mean Mbappe and I just
we just sign Ivan Toney. Just sign Ivan Toney. He came through our academy.
Why would they not? I mean, the thing is with him, I don't think they would. My personal preference, and this was going to sound weird, I was going to leave it.
Will Ivan Toney not be serving a ban though?
Yeah, would be somewhat. Who they'll go for be something like Jamie Vardy.
Nah.
But because then they're going to have to sign someone they know he's going to be behind Isak and Wilson. Who has quality to come on. I mean, where else are going to get that? It's either going to be someone like Vardy or someone very young.
But we don't need Jamie Vardy. Brennan Johnson. I would, if I was going down, I would go straight in. But no, I don't think Jamie Vardy is an Eddie Howe type of player. One, because I don't think his wife would be trusted around all the other wags. Yeah.
In all seriousness, I think the reason
bring back Kosselu.
I think the reason why there's so many links to the
Eddie's
likes
powers are only so finite.
Well, here's the question: the rumours are Brentford will let Tony go, but for 50 million. Would you pay 50 million for him?
No.
Because I wouldn't.
No, I mean that's what I'm saying about Vardy. He would cost you now.
What about
if he's not getting banned, I would pay that money for him.
What about the rumours of Rafinha?
He's not going to play.
Rafinha is one. I mean, he's completely tongued to Barca.
I'd rather have Diaby, to be honest.
So
we know,
but
I think the reason
they will be very canny with it. I know they will.
I think the reason there's been so many links to the likes of Marcus Thuram and to an extent Diaby is because I don't think they'll sign an out-and-out striker. I think they'll sign someone who can sort of play that hybrid striker, winger role sort of thing. So I think that's probably why we're being linked with. Yeah, exactly.
I think Thuram is probably the best shout out.
Considering who we've got in front of them, they'll either go back for that lad from Watford, who obviously they liked, and they've got form of going back. They've got form for going waiting for a player. They did it with Botman, they did it with Bruno, you know. So, or it'd be that lad at PSG. And no matter what you think, we didn't go back
for Bruno. We went.
We waited.
Well, no. From my understanding, we were going to go for. Were we not going to go for Paqueta? But looked at the price and thought it was a bit too much, so we went for his best mate and. Oh yeah, so glad we did.
But what I'm saying, you know, we Botman, we waited, so that would make sense. And I'm going to say he won't take too much out of the budget, you know.
Well, if we're just going to go and we're going to go with the lineup there, if my memory serves me correct, I think it was on Saturday Social, for Sky Sport. It was Don Robbie, from AFTV, and Boovy, who's a Man City fan. Nick Pope was who they chose.
They found a Man City fan.
Well, this was like the team of the season with like Arsenal and Man City players in.
Okay. That's a fairly interesting conversation to have, actually. Yeah.
And it was, and I thought, well, look, you've got an Arsenal and a Man City fan, so let's go. They both went with Nick Pope, and I'm going, yeah. Well, no, sorry. One went with Nick Pope, went with David Ray, and I'm going, well, Nick Pope's got to be in. However, come on. Went.
Are they high? I mean, even I wouldn't pick Pope for that. I mean, and he's had a phenomenal. I would pick Alisson.
Well, no, but what? Yeah, I know. But
if it hadn't been for him, honestly, the amount of more games.
No, but I think it's probably the season that Liverpool started. They both went for trips at right back, and I'm going.
That's just obvious.
My man.
They both decided to go for Botman in the defence, and you're going. I can't blame you for that because he's And they even said he's a Rolls Royce, and I'm going, yes, you're right. I can't remember who they went. But I think actually no. The options were Lisandro Martinez or Thiago Silva as the second central defensive partner, and the decision that they went with was Thiago Silva. And I'm going. And I was thinking Martinez probably would have been mine.
Fabian Schär.
Back, I think they went with
handsome Fabian getting shafted again.
Yeah. I know.
He's better than both those guys, to be fair.
If he played for Man United, he'd have been in there. He'd have been.
For the left back, I think it was Marino of Villa or Luke Shaw, and thankfully they went with Marino of Villa because I actually think, come on, if it's that choice, he was outstanding against us in that.
He's hit the ground running at Villa,
and then I think in the midfield, it was.
Must have been Bruno, surely.
No, because they went with a defensive midfielder, and it was
Caicedo.
Caicedo over Casemiro, which I was buzzing with. I was going to get in. Do you know what I think cost Casemiro? The 2 red cards. I think when they were looking at that, and I think that's probably what's done it for him. Then it was Bruno, and I'm like, well, how could you not pick Bruno? And I can't remember who the other midfielder was, but it wasn't a Newcastle player. And then there was an argument on the left where I think Boovy wanted Isak and Robbie wanted Rashford, and I'm going.
I mean, if Isak had more games, he'd probably be in the team of the season.
That's the thing, and you're looking at it and you're going, well, do you know what, Rashford? Yeah, he's had a fairly good season. That
you can't.
He had a good 2 months or something. I don't know.
Well, no, but you just look at that. But the fact that there's like 3 or 4 Newcastle players, and there's like 5 Newcastle players that have been talked about in the team with it. I think you'll see at least. I think you might see at least 2 Newcastle players in the team, like the Premier League team of the season. I just think that's going to happen.
I think Trippier is bang on. He's
Yeah.
There's no one.
Bruno maybe.
I think Botman maybe might be the one other one.
Yeah, but you look at that and it's just amazing to think of. Yeah, and I said, I think we're probably still going to be giddy over the next couple of days looking. Yeah. The fact that the club has put out on their socials, on their YouTube channel, the full first 21 minutes of the game. It's just like, I'll go on and I'll watch it.
Oh my God.
Wasn't that really impressed with the commentators? Yeah, they had. I don't know. It might have been Spurs fans, but yeah. I will say, the scream from Ando for Murphy's third goal. It's like, go on, Ando, my son. And honestly, like they're there in Razor. Yeah, Matthew Razorback's probably looking there going, Christ, can you give us a moment here, man? Christ, I need to calm down here. My throat's going.
I mean, you got to feel for the journos in a way, because they're obviously like, taking notes, got to publish pretty soon after the game and all that. They wouldn't be able to keep up with all of it. Like, it's just unbelievable. I've never seen anything like that.
However, come on, we did help them. Yeah, we had the headline sorted and the story sorted in the first 21 minutes. They were like, right, that's fine. But I can file me report now.
Yeah, I know who's won at least.
And everyone just going on about how disappointed Harry Kane looked. All the headlines there. I mean, it mentions us.
But I think
in the Daily Mail. And my father-in-law gave me, was just like, poor Harry.
Even Simon Jordan was praising us. Look, this is the thing.
That's a Newcastle fan, Simon Jordan.
I know. He had the top on.
Donning the shirt and everything.
I mean, obviously,
someone said you don't need to get Harry Kane. You've got that striker already at Newcastle.
Yeah, that would be a waste of the budget. If money was no option, then
I still don't think I don't know why there's just something where I'm like, if money was no option, I wouldn't go for Harry Kane.
I mean, it's better. That's a fact.
You might do, because for Champions League more.
No, but no, because you're saying money's no object. So
No, I said if it wasn't any object. I mean, it is. So you're not going to spaff all that on him when you've already got two very decent strikers.
Go for Haaland.
Sorry,
you go for Haaland. Yeah, come on. Yeah, think logically. Yeah, if you had the choice of Haaland and Kane, I know which one you.
I mean, put it this way: what we're debating here basically is who are Man United going to get as their next striker, because money's no object for them. And they're just and they desperately need a striker, and it's probably going to be Kane or Osimhen for them, isn't it? Depending on where
I think they'll end up with Kane.
I agree.
I can't. Who will Manchester United end up with Kane?
Yeah.
I thought you meant us then. Yeah,
and we'll get Osimhen.
but because as much as Man United aren't exactly as big of a destination as they once were, there's still obviously there's a lot of pull there, and B,
bigger than Spurs.
anything's a better prospect than Spurs, and he just needs to get out. And I think he wants to break the Premier League record, goal scoring record. So he wants to stay. And then you look at the other big clubs. Who else is going to sign him? The only other option he might have is Chelsea.
Yeah.
I would like to say to any pundits that are watching, please stop saying that Harry Maguire would be good for us. Please stop.
Yeah.
That's starting to get really annoying.
Utterly bizarre. It's like, how are these people employed? It's like, have you looked at our transfer policy?
Because they just think
months?
Can we just put this? Can we just put this out there right now? We would start Kieran Clark ahead of Harry Maguire.
And he didn't play in the cup for the semi.
To be fair, I'd probably start Ryan Fraser in the back line instead of Harry Maguire.
Hey, Man United have been doing that all season, and it's worked out all right for them. Martinez is kind of short, isn't he?
I'd like a penny to know Ryan Fraser's thoughts at 22 minutes past 2, because that'd be interesting. I wonder what he was thinking. I could be there doing this, and I'm just sat here at home building Lego.
Too bad for him.
Yeah. It just would have been it just
He
interests
screws
me.
things up apparently. So
Yeah.
But then isn't there other players, like which were interested in, and like they weren't maybe interested in signing for us and that, and then you look at that and they're probably going, I wish I'd said yes, no.
Oh yeah, God, yeah.
Yeah.
Must be loads of them.
Well, exactly. Yeah, you do look at that, but there'll be players now who will. Yeah, Sven Botman must be sitting there going, yeah, and people were taking the piss out of me for joining here instead of Milan. Yeah, come on.
And now I'm in the Champions League. Hopefully, sorry, I know I shouldn't say that.
Yeah, potentially.
Hopefully, we're hoping.
It's probably a good idea to maybe look ahead to Everton anyway. And I just wanted to ask a question and thought this might be a nice little segue to have a short discussion about that if you want to. For you guys, if we win at Everton on Thursday, are you really confident?
Of Champions League?
Yeah.
No,
not really, because we still got Brighton and Arsenal to play, so I'm not expecting to get a lot out of those two. So, I mean,
here's the question: if we beat Arsenal, would you be confident?
Yes.
Hell yeah!
If we drew with Arsenal, I would be very confident going into those last 3 games of Brighton, Leicester, and Chelsea. I would be thinking, because I know Liverpool got to play Spurs and Man U got to play Spurs, and so. But yeah, Everton is going to be tough because we've got a really poor record there. But where as I keep saying that, and we go places and they prove me wrong. Poor record, be damned. We are, that's the old Newcastle. This is the new Newcastle. The new Newcastle.
Yeah, I was going to say I do think we've maybe huffed Max with all the talks of signing strikers, and that is when how dare you not be put to
I think probably the entire state of Sweden's probably trying to cut all our internet connections right now.
Yeah.
And for those who are maybe keeping an eye on who's going to be joining us in the Premier League next season, Middlesbrough just went 1-0 up against Luton.
Interesting.
And on that note,
on that note, let's wrap it up because we will. Just trying to think. We'll be back on Wednesday. Because I was trying to think on when. It's difficult having midweek games because you go when we're playing.
Yeah.
We'll be back on Wednesday for a match preview. We'll do another one on Friday for the Sunday game against Southampton. So it's going to be a busy week. Yeah, but we're all.
It won't be as long as this one. Sorry, folks.
No.
We're very excited. So.
Well, we had 7 goals to fit in. It's going to take.
Forgive us for getting carried away.
But we're now off to watch the first 20 minutes of the match again and again.
Damn right.
So, thank you for joining us, and see you all on Wednesday.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.